Coming up, all the highlights from this year's Grammys. Beyonce becomes the female artist with the most Grammy wins ever. And a teary-eyed Taylor Swift wins the big award of the night, Album of the Year. Plus, Megan Thee Stallion makes history with her Best New Artist win. Beyonce, Bruno, and body yaddy 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 yaddy. Welcome to ET Live's Grammys After Show. I'm Denny Directo.
And I'm Cassie DeLaura, and I cannot and will not top that, but it was music. Denny, please stop. It was music's biggest night tonight at the Grammy Awards, and one hell of a night for the ladies who swept all 4 of the major categories. Including
Taylor Swift, who actually made history on top of history. She's the first woman to win Album of the Year 3 times, and she had such an amazing reaction to that, as you could tell there.
And a congratulations goes to Billie Eilish, who took home Record of the Year. Of course, last year she swept the entire major categories, and in a very special moment tonight, she took that trophy right there and literally dedicated it to Meg Thee Stallion.
That's right. Meanwhile, she passed the torch for Song of the Year to her, who won Song of the Year for her very powerful and poignant song, I Can't Breathe.
And taking home the award for Best New Artist, which I called last week, I should have put a bet on this, Meg Thee Stallion, making her the first female rapper to win this award in more than 2 decades.
It was a lit Grammys, I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly,
it
was so good.
It was so good. And joining us to actually break it all down is entertainment journalist and host of More Than That, Miss Gia Peppers, and 8-time Grammy Award-winning artist. Yeah, you heard that right? 8-time Grammy Award-winning artist and the founder of the Black-owned independent music and media enterprise Community Culture, Mr. Philip Lawrence. Thank y'all so much for joining us. I know it's late on the East Coast.
Anything for y'all. It's all good.
That's right. Yes. Guys, let's get right into it. Beginning with Beyonce. She didn't perform, and she also didn't put out an album this past year, but she did show up and show out. There's the Ivy Park right there at the Grammy Awards, becoming the female artist with the most Grammy wins ever. Before we get into it, you guys, let's take a look at her reaction after she won.
As an artist, I believe it's my job and all of our jobs to reflect the times. Blue, congratulations, you won a Grammy tonight. I'm so proud of you.
Aw, proud moment.
What did it mean? I know the answer to this question, but tell the folks what it meant to you to see Beyonce there, first of all, but also to make some history.
You know, as the resident treasurer of the Beehive, we all screamed, I think, joyous screams, because one, Beyonce has earned this, right? She is the greatest entertainer of our time, but she also has been in this game for 20 plus years, right? In 1996, she came out with No, No, No and the Girls of Destiny's Child. So for her to have this moment and to just show that longevity, that excellence, that Black joy and Black excellence that she has and exuded through Black is King, and the gift and all the albums that she put out that she's winning for now, it's just so great to see. It's truly a full circle moment and a culmination of an already incredible historic career.
It's a big night for Beyonce, but an even bigger night for the Carter family. Philip, little Blue Ivy became the 2nd youngest Grammy Award winner. Now, how about that?
Unbelievable. I got little kids too, and I'm trying to imagine my little ones winning a Grammy at her age. What an amazing thing for the entire family to share. But you know, I gotta show my support. Hey, I got you, girl. I got you.
Okay. I can't. And Denny, where's your Ivy Park?
I paid for mine. I paid for mine. But you know what? Next year. Okay? Next year. Listen, not to mention, Beyonce also won in some rap categories this year with Megan Thee Stallion.
I do have to say before we get into that, though, Philip, I love that you mentioned the little ones, because Beyonce really is the reason that so many of these artists have pursued their own music careers. And I loved in her speech, she said, you know, she highlighted and spotlighted all of the Black kings and queens that are out there doing their thing this year. And that includes Meg Thee Stallion, who had one heck of a night. Of course, she took home the award for Best New Artist, also won Best Rap Performance for Savage and Best Rap Song. And she and Beyonce made history, might I add, by becoming the first pair of women to win the Best Rap Performance category of Savage Remix. And they even shared a very special moment together during the speech. Take a look.
I definitely want to say thank you to Beyonce.
I think think Meg's reaction when her jaw dropped was all of us when we saw Jay and Beyonce for the first time in the crowd.
I was like, Beyonce in the house.
Beyonce in the house. We were all waiting for it. Would
Yes.
they make a surprise appearance? Well, thank God that they did. But Philip, I wanted to ask you, obviously, with the Best New Artist win under Meg's belt, with additional wins too, what does this mean for her as an artist and what we can expect for the rest of her career? Because I feel like we've just begun when it comes to Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it means she has arrived, right? I mean, this is her moment. As an artist, you work so hard, so many hours, you put everything in, you make all the sacrifices. And you think about Meg, she's been freestyling and dropping mixtapes, and it all sort of culminates to this moment. And as an artist, you don't ever think about the Grammy stage. Right. And then as you sort of inch yourself together and you have these wins, it's huge for her. And I think that she's the kind of worker, she works so hard that this is only going to be the stepping stone to greatness for her. So I'm so happy for her. Go, Meg.
Go, Meg. I love it.
And for her to also... I was going to say, Gia, real quick, and for her to win with Beyonce, her hometown hero. They're both from Houston. They get on a song together, and they're winning Grammys. I mean, come on.
That's what I was going to add. I think the moment where Beyonce chose to stand next to her and let her have that moment, actually let her be in the front of this historic moment for her, was such a show of the support that she has been to Meg. We all know she lost her mother, recently. She's still grieving as a young girl in this industry. She needs big sisters, and Beyonce and Jay-Z being her big brother and signing her to Roc Nation have been that support. And so I know for her how deep that must have felt, where she talked about how she saw Destiny's Child as a child and was like, I want to go hard like Beyonce. To be able to have that moment with B must mean the absolute world, and I'm so happy for her. I'm beaming for her.
And I love that you brought up her mother, because she did have a moment in her speech where she gave a shout out to her late mother. And, we all know as Meg fans that her mother is one of the reasons why she's continuing to do what she does.
Absolutely.
Earn her college degree, wants to own open an assisted living moving forward. It was such a special moment.
Such a special night, too, because she also performed. And I got to tell you, Meg's performance with Cardi B was a huge highlight for me tonight. I felt like I was missing at the beginning of this award show the grandness that is the Grammy stage. And then it looked like Cardi and Meg were like, give us the dimensions. We're going to build a big bed and fill it up with all these dancers, all these props. I mean, let's start with you, Philip. What'd you make of this performance?
Insane. It was crazy. I think you're right. I think that's what we expect from the Grammys, right? We expect something big, something to blow us away, something we're not expecting to see. And they brought that, what I mean? Even with the costuming and the colors. They did their thing. They bodied it.
They bodied it. They got through the censors, too.
My thing going into the Grammy Awards was how explicit could they be? How were they going to get creative? Because we've all seen the lyrics and heard the lyrics to this song.
You seen the dance moves?
But that's also what's so special about this song, too, is that they empower other women to embrace their sexuality. And we saw that on stage.
Yes. We
100%.
did.
All right, there were so many performances. I mean, it was stacked with live music. They promised they were going to deliver, and they did. Philip, let's start with you. Who was your favorite performance of the night?
I had many. I had several, actually. But I think, and I'm not saying I have any bias to this at all, but Silk Sonic. Come on, baby.
Come on.
That's my boy.
Listen.
I got to give it up to my boy. And one of the most brilliant things I think about Bruno, and I feel so fortunate and lucky to have, met him over a decade ago and have built a career with him. He's really one of the most talented, brilliant, amazing performers of our time. And, when he has his sights set on something, they've got this kind of 70s thing going, he goes all out. I thought I was looking at Heat Wave and the OJs and they had the steps and the. I was a little mad that I wasn't there. I was just
about to ask you that. I'm like, be honest, because you won Grammys with Bruno. You're performing on the Grammy stage with him. Did you have a little FOMO? A little bit?
I had a little FOMO. I ain't gonna lie, a little piece of FOMO. But I let it slide because they did so well and they sounded so good. And I was so proud. So proud.
Absolutely.
Next year.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, next year. Yeah. Rockin' Ivy Park.
I love it. You know who I was so proud of tonight was country singer Mickey Guyton. Can we all just give a shout out to Mickey for that incredible performance of Black Like Me? You know, it's one thing to be a female artist in country music, but it's another thing to be a Black female in country music right now. And this performance, taking the Grammy stage, is so impactful for so many reasons, and it shows all the young Black children out there that they too can A, pursue a career in country, and B, be on the Grammy stage one day. And that's what I just loved about this performance.
You know, speaking of inclusion, I have to give a shout out to BTS performing at the Grammys tonight. They were the only act that brought the Grammy stage to Seoul. They were the only ones not in Los Angeles, and it was so amazing to see them perform. This is their second performance, but the first time just doing a BTS number. They, of course, collaborated and shared the stage with Lil Nas X last year. Now, I know the ARMY was real disappointed that they did not win that one Grammy they were nominated for, but trust me, look, they went from presenting, okay, to performing, to being nominated for the first time. Next is the win, guys. Next is the win, okay?
Yes, next is the win, step by step. And I wanted to add also, you know, Silk Sonic, I think I saw a tweet, a girl said I was about to throw my bra at them. Yes, they give that same type of energy that like our mamas felt when the Temptations was there, and that Earth, Wind, and Fire was able to bring out of all of the people of the 70s and the early 80s. And even now, they just have that good soulful energy. And I also have to give a shout out to Lil Baby for bringing out Tamika Mallory, the founder of Until Freedom, and Killer Mike, because what an impactful year, right? We saw just how much Black music impacted the storytelling and the moments that we were seeing in the media with the Black Lives Matter movement. And so, as Beyonce said, as the artist, responsibility is to reflect the times, for him to bring them out and say, this is exactly who we need to listen to. And the biggest night in music, when they're not even, when Tamika isn't an artist, was such a major thank you, moment of gratitude in a platform that we all should be paying attention to. So I'm excited to see what happens with Tamika from here too, but shout out to Lil Baby.
Well said.
Between Lil Baby and Da Baby and Mickey Guyton, I mean, the Grammys really had a number of impactful performances, which we're actually going to dive into later on the show.
But first, let's get into some other big winners of the night. It was really exciting to see Harry Styles take home his first Grammy Award. This is his first time being nominated and his first Grammy win. And not to mention, he is now the first member of One Direction to walk home with one of those little gramophones.
But that boa.
Exactly. With
that boa,
and he
Daddy.
with the boa. He had a big night because he also opened up the show too. Philip, I mean, do you feel like there are some comparisons here to, say, Justin Timberlake's solo success? You know, when Justin came out with his debut solo, it also showed up at the Grammys in a big way. Is this a sign that we might be getting solo Harry a lot longer than a 1D reunion?
I hope so. I'm a big fan of Harry.
Yeah.
I think he's a special talent. I got to tell you though, as soon as he walked out on stage, I went to Farfetched. I said, I got to get me one of them bows, okay? Like, Harry, you can't be the only one with a bow, Playboy. I need me one of those.
We knew he was going to bring the fashion.
I think, yes, I think that this is just the beginning for this kid. I mean, I had an opportunity to be in the studio with him once, and he's just so humble. You know, when he takes it all in, he was, you know, really listening to what we were talking about, and had this, you know, sort of childlike enthusiasm for creating music. I think the sky's the limit for him. He's got his fashion game is crazy. The brother was rocking leather, okay? Had the leather game strong.
Someone else bringing the color to the Grammy Awards tonight was Taylor Swift and her floral number. This was her big return to the Grammys after 5 years. She now, you guys, has 11 Grammys. She's almost up to 13, her lucky number 13. She won Best Album for Folklore, making her the first female artist in history to win Album of the Year 3 times. I mean, for a quarantine project, this album, Gia, are we surprised that Taylor took home Album of the Year?
Absolutely not. Taylor Swift is one of those icons that at this point, when she puts something out, it is going to succeed. She's reached that level of success where people love her so much and her music and her sound so much that when she puts something out, her fans respond. Her fans love her. She can cover her own music and still win an incredible amount of awards and love and support. And so to see her tonight return to the stage and just to see her in her element, right? Like I feel like this new Taylor Swift is a lot less focused on what people think. She wants to be comfortable. She's confident. She is ready to say what she needs to say, and she's going to say it beautifully through her music. And so I love this new Taylor Swift. I'm very much a fan of her taking her career back, and now we get to see all the fruits of her rewards.
And with all that being said, I wonder if Evermore is going to follow suit.
Never count Taylor Swift out, okay?
Never.
Never count her out.
Never count her out. There is still to come. Our guests are sticking around, and so you should too. Next, we're recapping the night's best fashion. Plus, reunited Harry Styles and Lizzo celebrated backstage at the Grammys. That and more viral moments from the night after this.